Please welcome the engineers. Once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Rensselaer in Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's non-league matchup between the Sun Devils of Arizona State and your homestanding Engineers of Rensselaer. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from Arizona State. Starting in the goal, number 31, Ryland Pashevitz. On defense, number 5, Brock Krieger. At right defense is number 74, Connor Schmidt. The starting forward lines for Arizona State. At left wing, number 11, Jack Rowe. At center, number 9, Ryan Stevens. And at right wing for Arizona State, number 19, Matt Kennedy. The rest of the Sun Devils and their head coach is Greg Powers. Now, fans, time for the RPI starting lineup brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts' new dark roast blend, featuring a bold start and a smooth finish, just like your Engineers. Leading your Engineers on the ice tonight, please welcome the junior engineer, Abby Owens. Starting in the goal, a senior from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 33, Jason Castor. On defense, a senior from Williamsville, New York, number 24, the captain, Chris Bradley. At right defense, a freshman from Sparta, New Jersey, number 4, Tommy Grant. The starting forward line for the Engineers. At left wing, a sophomore from Paramus, New Jersey, number 25, Drew Melanson. At center for the Engineers, he's a senior from Banska Bystrica, Slovakia, number 17, Milos Bubela. And at right wing, a junior from Georgetown, Ontario, number 27, Jake Wood. The rest of the Engineers, their head coach is Seth Appert. Assistant coaches are Brian Vines and Nolan Graham. Now we direct your attention to center ice, where National Grid Foundation has joined RPI launching Shooting for the Stars to motivate elementary school students by rewarding them with tickets to Rensselaer men's and women's ice hockey games. At center ice, student achievers from the Troy City School District, president of the National Grid Foundation, Bob Keller, Rensselaer County Executive, the Honorable Kathy Jimeno, RPI Athletic Director, Dr. Lee McElroy, VP of Institute Advancement, Greg Easton, Senior Advancement Officer Deb Chesky, and RPI Captain Chris Bradley, Arizona State Hockey Tri-Captain Liam Norris. This new program rewards students for outstanding achievement and community service with the Rensselaer Ice Hockey Experience. We want to thank National Grid Foundation for its support of our youth and our community. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as the RPI Pep Band will play the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America.
internet feed. Once again, WRPI.org.
Getting set for this one, it's Arizona State and RPI playing for the first time ever here at the Houston Fieldhouse. The Sun Devils are in their road black uniforms with gold helmets and gold trim. RPI in their home whites with black and red trim. They'll be skating from right to left. Jason Kasdorf in net for RPI. 3-4-1 overall, 216 goals against, 937 save percentage in 9 games. He missed a good stint there, good 8 games in the middle with an injury. He came back very strong against Harvard. 43 saves in that 0-0 tie.
I would say that it was like he never left, but he looked almost better than ever against the Crimson. Really had a great performance against a high-powered team.
Arizona State will send out Ryland Pashevitz. There was some question to whether or not he would play. He picked up a knock and did not play against Alberta. He's 4-6-0, 278 goals against, 923 save percentage. We will have Greg Powers, the Arizona State head coach. I talked to him prior to tonight's game. We'll have that interview in our first intermission. He was a great talk. I had a great talk with him prior to tonight's game. He has a lot to say, and you learn a little bit about the program, how it came to be. So
Arizona State looking rather sleek in their road uniforms.
They look sweet. I'm not going to lie to you.
Black with the dark red and gold tinge to it. Really kind of a nice uniform they've got to start off their Division I existence.
Into the offensive zone, it's chipped in by the Engineers. Drew Melanson will try and chase it down. Little mixing of lines here for RPI. We're getting a different look. The M&M line is completely split out, spread apart between the 3 top lines for RPI as they shoot it right back in. Stopped behind the net by Pashevitz. Around to the near side corner. The Sun Devils look to break out through center ice. Matt Kennedy feed it to the far side. Tommy Grant in the lineup here and playing as just 6 defensemen as a late scratch to the starting lineup, or to the lineup, I should say, was Jared Wilson, not playing tonight for RPI. Picked up by Milos Fabella. He'll carry in far side, kicks it in deep. It'll be chased down behind the goal by Jake Clifford, freshman from Brecksville, Ohio, and we have our first whistle on the play. 19:21 to go in the first period. No score. RPI and ASU.
This is a team that's naturally chock full of freshmen, but as was mentioned, they have several players that were transferred, and even a couple of them that played club hockey for the Sun Devils as well, so they're not young by any stretch of the imagination.
Work to the near point. Here's Prapavessis off the draw. Threw it off the man in front of him. Knocked down out to center. That was Joe Lappin who did the blocking. If that name sounds familiar, he's the younger brother of Nick Lappin, who tormented the Engineers here earlier a couple weeks ago, scoring 2 goals in about a minute. In the third period, we move on here, and a chance for Miller to break. Trying to walk his way in. Miller to the crease. Penalty upcoming. He's taken down, and the Engineers are going on the power play. As the Sun Devils get a touch, it was Cody Gilling, the freshman from Chandler, Arizona. It looked like he was the last man back, and he'll be headed to the penalty box.
Kind of looked like Peter Fiola was waiting to see if Miller was going to get a shot off, because he was being impeded well before the hand went into the air, and once he got close to the crease, it was pretty obvious that he was being impeded to the point that he wasn't going to be able to get a shot off, and so the Engineers get their first power play of the game. They're 7 for 57 this season, 12.3%.
Engineers special teams units seem to be going in opposite directions throughout this year. The power play started pretty strong, but now it's down, as Tom mentioned, to 12%. The penalty kill creeping up above 85% on the year. But they head down the middle of the ice. It's Mears Moore ahead and shot into the zone by Orval. Coach Appert talked about the maturity process of Orval, hoping to get some time here on the power plays. It's tapped out to center by Arizona State. Moore near side for Babella. Cross ice feed is a good one to Prapavessis into the zone. Has Bourbonnais cutting to the net. Finds Babella wide open. Babella, a shot and a save is made by Pashevitz. Clearing effort all the way down by the Sun Devils penalty kill unit. They'll change that as Jason Kasdorf stops it to the side of a cage. Jesper Orval to pick the puck up there. The freshman from Halmstad, Sweden, and former Fairbanks Ice Dog. 4 assists on the year for him. Here's Riley Bourbonnais, the team's top scorer, into the offensive zone. Bourbonnais to the corner. He gets roughed up there. Trying to play it back for Babella. He's tied up and lost it, and it's cleared out of the zone by Schmidt. All the way down it goes off the stick of Connor Schmidt Jr. from New Boston, Michigan, as the Engineers will restart behind their own goal. Another 52 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Drew Melanson chipping off the far wall. He'll try and chase it down. First one to it is Krieger. Brock Krieger clears as this RPI power play continues to struggle. They'll start up from behind their own goal once more, and it's the senior Phil Hampton handing off for Melanson. 30 seconds to go in the man advantage as the Engineers hit the red line. They'll fire it in off the glass. Hops around off the dasher to the corner. Schrader tries to keep it alive down low. He battles there with Kennedy. Loose to the circle. Kennedy trying to clear. Comes free to the point. A shot by Hampton deflects high into the netting. And we get a stoppage. Just about 3 minutes in. No score RPI in Arizona State.
And there are 17 seconds remaining on the RPI power play. Result of a penalty to Garrett Peterson, grad student out of Manhattan, Illinois, former Notre Dame Fighting Irish member.
Draw coming to the left of Pashevitz, the Saskatoon, Saskatchewan native. Shot coming, pad save, rebound poked on goal. Another stop was made. It trickles behind. Rolling over the top of the net. Nemeimer was Schrader. Now a chance from Melanson, blocked up high into the net. That caught the defenseman out in front, Clifford. And the Engineers getting some late power play chances here down low. They're out shooting Arizona State 4-1. It is to be expected with their man advantage opportunity, but we'll have a whistle.
Well, the Arizona State penalty kill looked a little bit disjointed off of that face-off. RPI shooting it pretty much right off the draw and then getting a couple of decent opportunities down low, but some good stops by Pashevitz.
Face-off one to the near point. Here is Prapavesis. He likes to go on his little adventures into the offensive zone. He pulls it back here, back to even are the Sun Devils. It's played around to the far side corner. Orval, or make it Miller rather, cycling for Lou Nanny. He leaves it in the corner for Wood. He took a bump there, comes free to Gilling. Gilling looks to clear it out and does to center on the carry. In fact, it was actually Rats, and now shot back into the offensive zone. Nanny in the circle, centering pass right out in front. Poke check made by Pashevitz. He broke it up and sent it back out to center ice. Carried on and shot in by Joey Rats, one of the better names in college hockey, from Las Vegas, Nevada. As it shot into the corner, Jordan Masters, the team's top scorer and freshman, fires it right back in. That time it was Belanger. Now a centering pass intercepted by Miller, and the Engineers will move it out to center. Here comes Jake Wood on the move. The junior from Georgetown, Ontario, flipped it to the near corner. Nanny has a stick under his arm as he looks to get separation there. It's actually won back behind the cage by Gushu. Nicholas Gushu up the far boards and into RPI territory. Shot around by Bradley for Travis Fulton. Off the wall, a giveaway, saved by Kasdorf. Rebound pops to the corner. Fulton did not look where he passed that puck. He threw it right onto the tape of one of the Arizona State forwards, and they got a clean look at Kasdorf, although not from the greatest angle. Puck swept away and poked wide of goal by Orval into the far corner. Far side wall, corralled there by Ryan Stevens, a freshman from Colleyville, Texas. Now a loose puck, Orval trying to jump on it. It was swept away. You see early on, Sun Devils not the cleanest getting out of their own zone. As they'll move it to the point, kept in Bradley. Easy stick stop to the far side and out of play over the glass. 15:08 to go in the first period. No score here. Shots are 4-2 Engineers.
Yeah, Arizona State right now, they're just kind of hamstrung getting out of their own end. It's really not a question of RPI's forechecking, because RPI's forecheck isn't as strong as we've seen it from them this season, but ASU's really just got to be a little more crisp with their passes coming out of their end.
Draw here to the right of Pashevitz. He's made 50-plus saves twice already this season for Arizona State. So he's seen a lot of pucks come his way. Here's Moore trying to play it to the far side. It's intercepted by Connor Schmidt and move on out of the zone into RPI territory. Mears Moore, the freshman from Duluth, Minnesota, plays it down the middle of the ice, trying to find Miller. Comes all the way through to the Arizona State blue line. They work it up the ice near side. Corralled again by Phil Hampton. He'll try the far side neutral zone. Hits off the skate of the linesman over there. Loose in front of the Arizona State bench. Poked along into Sun Devils territory. Spinning around in his own end is Krieger, the graduate student from Novi, Michigan. Now flipped into the corner by Jack Rowe, freshman from Cary, Illinois. Engineers carry it right back out. Shoot it near side Melanson. Feeding it forward for Victor Liljegren. Liljegren to the offensive zone. Trying to make a move. Poked away as the Sun Devils collapsed around him. Cleared out to center. Here's Garrett Peterson, another grad student here for ASU, behind the RPI goal. Still Peterson, poked away from him. Babella plays it around to the far side. Keeping it in is Edward McGovern. McGovern down low. Touched on further by Peterson. Stolen away for a second, but the Sun Devils keep it in. Prapavesis now trying to track it down the near corner of his own zone. Back behind the goal it goes. Parker Reno up the wall. Flipped off the boards and out to center ice. Babella trying to get there, can't do it. Flipped on further, but turned right back around by Prapavessis as he carries in far side to the hash marks and now down low to the corner. Prapavessis is tied up and shoved against the back wall. Melanson tries to peel out of there and does. Melanson carrying to the far circle, cycling for Wood. Wood has some space to work, met by McGovern. He goes down to his seat and flips it down low for Babella. Good play to stay on the puck by Jake Wood as he now takes it out of the pile. Wood on his backhand, fed far side. Tommy Grant, wrist shot coming, save made by Pashevitz. He had good sight lines at that one, and he holds on. 13:25 on the clock in the first period. No score RPI in Arizona State.
Shots on goal so far in this one, 6-2 in favor of the Engineers. They've been holding the puck well in the Arizona State end. Sun Devils just giving RPI just a little bit too much room to operate down there. But still no score in this one with 13:25 left in the first.
Clean win back to Tommy Grant. He'll shoot it down low. Grant playing in his 9th game of the year. No points yet for the freshman from Sparta, New Jersey. Now a wraparound try. Shot save made by the right pad. He got in the way of that one. Schrader was looking for his 3rd goal. Back comes Arizona State the other way. And it gets played in deep. Bradley trying to track it down and does behind his own goal. The senior captain for RPI yet to take a penalty this year for the Engineers. Long outlet pass Borbin. I had a man breaking. It was Schrader. It's intercepted and carried back along by Liam Norris. Norris shoots it in off the back wall. It's controlled by Bradley. He'll leave it behind for Grant. A lot of pressure coming. The Engineers just swat it far side as that was Ostertag. Now a chance at the post, and the save is made. Loose to the crease and all the way through. Schrader's going to move it on out of there. Schrader on the carry now. Is about as close as the Sun Devils have come. Good little chance down low. Now, Bourbonnais all by himself in the offensive zone is tied up and he lost it. As they play behind their own goal, it's Gushu. Up the wall, given away. Orval walking in to his backhand. A shot saved by Pashevitz. Tipped to the near corner. Gillespie throwing his weight around. Gillespie turning and shooting. A shot right on. A save is made again by Pashevitz. Around to the near side wall, clearing past Moore out to center. He'll have to track down in his own line. Mears Moore trying to make a move. It's poked loose by Belanger. Now Fulton into the zone. Shot on goal. Pashevitz makes the save and he'll hold on there. Another shot for the Engineers. They're up to 10. 10-3 the shots RPI. Face-off coming in the Arizona State zone.
Both netminders on that sequence getting a little bit lucky. I'm sure Jason Kasdorf is hearing pipes in his dreams now. He heard several of them against Harvard. Had another one right there, but so far over the last 3+ periods, well, 3+ periods plus overtime, he hasn't given one up since coming back from his injury. And Rylan Pashevitz, when you're a goaltender and you're missing your twig, it can be a little bit of a harrowing experience, but to be able to kick it away without having his stick at his disposal.
Lappin ahead for Masters into the offensive zone. It's Lappin again, feeding it to the side of the cage. It deflects off behind, picked up by Mears Moore. He'll skate it far side ahead off the stick of Alex Rodriguez and controlled by Arizona State in their own zone. Schmidt goes D to D. And now into the offensive zone. A wrist shot is blocked by Hampton, picked up by Moore. Moore will shoot it off the glass. Liljegren stays in the zone for a second, then Masters takes a hit. And carried on further, Alex Rodriguez, offensive zone, wrist shot blocked. Rebound comes free, loose to the top of the crease, and it's swept away by the Sun Devils. A little saucer pass near side for Schmidt into the offensive zone. Connor Schmidt jumping into the attack there. As it's poked into the circle, still loose there. Masters takes a hit, tries to take a shot. It comes right to Prapavessis, who can't clear. Rats fires one wide of goal, stick to the glass by Kasdorf. Around behind the goal they are now, picked up Prapavessis as he stole it away, and he'll skate towards center. Near side Melanson trying to connect to the middle for Babella. That's off the mark. Picked up by McGovern. Engineers want to back off a bit. I believe they're offside. That's why they had to circle back. Here's Peterson now. Poked away nicely at center ice by Milos Babella. But Peterson in the second effort gets it deep. Tommy Grant, the first one to it, runs into his man as the puck comes free to the near side circle. Now out towards center. Rats trying to keep it alive. Played ahead by Schrader. On for Wood. Wood in the circle. Drop past Melanson. Shot, he scores! Picks up his 3rd of the year. He was wide open between the circles, and there's not much Pashevitz could do about it.
That's just a little bit of inexperience there by the back line for Arizona State as the backdrop to Melanson gave him all kinds of room to work with. Drew Melanson picks his spots better than a lot of guys you'll see out there, and he did it perfectly right there. Perfectly placing his shot to make it 1-0 Engineers.
Back to action here. We're halfway through the first period. And we get a whistle here and an icing call. Engineers pick up the goal. As I mentioned, it is Melanson's third of the season, the Paramus, New Jersey native and sophomore.
That goal coming on RPI's 11th shot of the
RPI
period.
goal
We're not yet
was
11 full
scored by
minutes
number
into
25,
this game,
Drew
so
Melanson.
definitely compared to last week against Harvard, RPI
He
shooting the
was
puck at least a
assisted
little
by
bit
number
more, but they also had a lot
27,
more possession.
Jake Wood.
Another drive to the net, chance and a goal! Riley Bourbonnais was in a bit of a slump, but he's out of it now. His 9th of the season. That leads the team. It's quickly 2-0 Engineers.
That's just a nice play by Bourbonnais, crashing the net. Good things happen when you crash the net. He had a puck bounce right to him. That's probably one Pashovic's going to want back. He needs to get from his left to his right a little bit quicker than that when the puck is moving around in his crease area. Bourbonnais picks up the trash, and just like that, it's 2-0 RPI.
I believe Arizona State will be using a timeout here. You have to wonder the psyche of a team like Arizona State. Obviously a lot of young players, 15 in the starting lineup, 15 freshmen in the starting lineup. They're going to review this one. The net did come off, but I believe because of the new rule that was instituted a couple of years ago that this is going to count.
Well, this should be a good goal anyway because I think the puck was in the net before the net was dislodged. It was jostling a little bit, but looks like it's going to be a good goal. They're showing the overhead view now on RPI TV. The puck crosses the front of the crease, and it should be a good goal. Well,
the net came off before, but
it did.
Like I said,
but the net was knocked off by an ASU player, which ever since a couple of years back
happened to Union, I believe.
Yes, in the national tournament, Union was the beneficiaries of this call. I remember, if I recall correctly, Josh Juris tipped the puck, the net back on what would have been a goal by Michigan State.
Right.
And it was called no goal. Michigan went on to win that game.
They changed the rule now. The net can come off as long as the puck would have gone into the net if it were still on its pegs.
Absolutely.
This is a prime example of that. It will be a good goal, and it is.
Fiola's calling it a good goal, so RPI does have a 2-0 lead. Those two goals coming
RPI's
15
goal
seconds apart. So.
15 seconds apart. That's why I almost missed that one. Back to action here as the Engineers are back to their own end. It's Phil Hampton in the corner. Orval can't clear. Shot coming. Saved by Kasdorf as Gushu had a little bit of room to work from the point. The 6'4 freshman out of West Vancouver, British Columbia, has 2 goals on the year. Had a little bit of room at the point, but Kasdorf saw that one very well.
Scoring for the Engineers, the first goal of the game at 9:33, an even strength goal by Drew Melanson, his 3rd goal of the season, assisted by Jake Wood and Zach Schrader. That made it 1-0. 15 seconds later, it is Riley Bourbonnais scoring. Lou Nanny had one of the assists. I'll get the other one momentarily.
That's the other one posted right now, so we'll get that to you. Engineered from behind their own goal off the defensive zone faceoff win. Alex Rodriguez up the wall. It'll be kept in by Belanger. Now Prapaves is trying to sneak a pass through. It was nearly picked off by Ostertag. Ryan Ostertag, the junior from Regina, Saskatchewan. As it's dug at. Ostertag trying to work it up the wall. Finally stolen away and carried in by Parker Reno, the junior from Medina, Minnesota. Wrap it around to the far side, Alex Rodriguez. Freshman from Miami, Florida, 3 points already on the season. He missed a good chunk of time due to injury. He's out there now with Miller and Liljegren. Liljegren tried to play it back to the point, popped right back to him. Down low, Miller spins away from a check, trying to drive the net. Rebound cleared off the wall and out to center. Wave off the icing early, so Reno will go back and pick it up in the near circle of his own zone. Skates behind the net, trying to get away from the forecheck pressure of Ostertag. Down the middle, tipped along by Wood, and then he takes a hit up high, controlled by the Sun Devils. Schmidt dangling through his own end, now feeds it ahead nicely into the offensive zone. A shot by Gilling deflects to the far corner. Tie up there, comes free. Engineers try to work it out, and they do. Milos Bubella backhanded up the wall for Wood. He gets hit nicely by Schmidt into the boards right in front of the ASU bench. Now Melanson in the corner. Tries to play it back to the point. Penalty coming up here on the Sun Devils, apparently, as it's deflected. And we're going to get a whistle. Interference is the call. Didn't see a touch of the puck. Whistle went. 8:28 left in this first period. The Engineers score twice in 15 seconds. They lead 2-0.
Full scoring on RPI's second goal, an even strength goal at 9:48, just 15 seconds after RPI took the 1-0 lead. They're up 2-0. Scoring is Riley Bourbonnais, his 9th goal of the season, assisted by Lou Nanny and Zach Schrader with his 2nd assist in 15 seconds.
That's how you get it done. Face off here, left side or far side of the Arizona State zone, cleared directly down as RPI goes on the power play for the second time. It is 0 for 1. More far side pass, not looking for it. It's slammed right back down by Rowe. Played by Kasdorf behind the cage. Here's Moore. Good start to his collegiate career. 4 points for him in 17 games. A lot of these engineers, young engineers players have played all 17, including Moore. As it's back behind the net for Kasdorf to restart once more. The Engineers having trouble just entering the zone here on the man advantage. Minute 20 to go on it. That penalty interference call to Nicholas Gushu. Swatted away at center ice this time as they can't make the red line. It was Murphy doing the job there for the visitors. Back again comes Melanson. A little bit of speed this time. Flip near side, can't get in the zone again. Tripped up and taken down. Melanson is going to take a penalty here. So not only are the Engineers not able to score here, the power play is going to be over as it's Murphy, the man taken down. Sean Murphy, the junior from Cary, North Carolina. This is the same hometown, I believe, as Lindsay Hilwa on the RPI women's team, but he drew the penalty there.
Yeah, it was not a good penalty for Melanson to take. RPI's power play struggling as it is. They're continuing to struggle right there. And having power plays cut short is a good way to not score on your power plays.
Makes it easy, I guess.
Adds to your still decreasing power play total for the season. So RPI's man advantage definitely needs a little bit of work. Taking penalties, not really the game that you're trying to play there. Not there. So 4-on-4 here for another 50 seconds. Mike Prapavesis feeding it far side for Lou Nanny. He'll stop at the point, hand it off. Nanny down low, Reno down low, gets it back, touches it off. Shot by Reno, blocked away by the defense, and the Sun Devils want to skate. Here they come. It's Clifford on the move into the near circle, pulls it back, takes a wrist shot, saved by Kasdorf. Played to the far side. Reno can't clear. Carried on further by Prapavesis with some speed far side for Bourbonnais off the wall. Prapavesis all the way down low, takes a poke at it, knocked away from him by Belanger. And now a trip, and the Engineers are going to take another penalty here. Prapavesis got his stick in Clifford's skates, and that'll draw a penalty. So the Engineers are going to have a decent amount of 5-on-3 time to kill off when it's all said and done. That's assuming that ASU doesn't score in the next 16 seconds, of course. True. But 4-on-3 for 16 seconds, followed by a minute 2 of good math, Tom, of 5-on-3 for the Sun Devils. So really, this is where the visitors have a golden opportunity to get back into this one. They'll have a 2-man advantage for over a minute, but they do have RPI's strong penalty kill to deal off with. Shot coming, McGovern. No, he plays it to the circle. Right back to McGovern. Right between the circles there. He feeds it near side. Gets it back. McGovern again. Far side now. One-timer. And that one he did not catch cleanly in the far side circle. That was Masters. They're looking to set up. Team's goal-scoring leader with 5. McGovern fakes the slapper again. Moves it down low. Off the stick of Schrader and into the netting. Now we have the 5-on-3 time as out of the box came Schmidt. 55 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time here for Arizona State against RPI's penalty kill, which has been hot as of late, up to 85.7% on the year. And they haven't given one up in a good amount of time, despite the number of penalties they've taken in the last several games, which is good news for the Engineers. That allows them to play more physical, but you still don't want to be down 2 guys. Schmidt hands it off there for McGovern. Down low, Masters at the bottom of the far circle. Back up top now, McGovern gives it back to Schmidt. Schmidt back to McGovern. Engineers being passive here with a 3. Shot coming off the pipe, and it's out again. This arena has seen its fair share of posts hit the last couple games now. There's another one. Chalk it up there this time. He rang it off the left post. There's a nice little toe drag there. Comes free to the near side. Up top now McGovern. He'll fake a slapper. Near side, into the middle. Diving play, and a poke check was made. Parker Reno laid that stick along the ice, and the Engineers clear. Sometimes when you're playing well, you get lucky too, and that's Jason Kasdorf right now. Probably 6 posts in the last 2 games. The Stats had 8 for RPI hit last game as it's played along down low. Back up to the point now, McGovern. Far side one-timer blocked there by Miller as he knocked it away from Joey Ratz, the team's top assist man. And now to the near wall. Cleared all the way down by Nanny. 5-on-4 power play. Time for another 24 seconds.
as the Sun Devils carried out from behind their own goal. It's Rats, the freshman from Las Vegas, as I mentioned, former Sioux Falls Stampede. Shot into the RPI zone. The Engineers take over, moving out to center. Big hit at center ice as Wood was decked. Penalty coming up here on Arizona State. Could be an elbow here. We'll see what the call is.
I'm gonna have to see this one again. I didn't think there was much that was untoward with this hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it did get up high. And it really wasn't his fault either, because Wood was kind of keeled over as he skated towards.
He just didn't see him.
Yeah, Matt Kennedy, I don't think saw him. And Kennedy's got some size as well. He's 6'3", and Jake Wood is 5'8" and was keeled over. So it's hard to really fault him, but by the letter of the law, I suppose that's a penalty. I don't know. RPI, I think, is making an argument for a 5-minute, but I think they're fortunate enough to be getting a penalty out of this at all.
Well, Bradley, the RPI captain, and Liam Norris, the captain, one of the 3 captains for Arizona State, are still there discussing this. Bradley may be discussing the fact that the Engineers have been called for a number of 5-minute majors over the last few games, but that's not at all me advocating for it. I thought it was a 2-minute penalty, if that. I thought it was a decent hit.
Games that also included Peter Fiala, who we talked about.
Right, exactly.
So maybe there is a connection at least.
There is one, right.
But no, I don't think ASU deserves a major here at all.
Absolutely not. 2 minutes the max I could see there. We have 4-on-4 hockey for 5 seconds, then RPI will go back on the power play for the 3rd time. So the Engineers successfully kill off the 2 penalties at their end, and now
RPI returns
out of
to
the
full
box,
strength.
and the Engineers are back to even. Power play for almost a full 2 minutes. Into the far side corner, Schrader spins it back to the point, kept in nicely by Hampton. He'll carry to the near circle. Phil Hampton down low, turning there. He looks to cycle for Schrader. Schrader takes a bump there from Rats, and they tie up in the near corner. Lildgren comes to help out for RPI. McGovern over there for Arizona State. Minute and a half to go, and the entire penalty kill unit was in that corner. Now it's back out to the far side. Bradley down low for Lildgren in the corner. To the near side, Bradley. Near circle, Hampton walking in. A shot hit his shin pad. Picked up by Schrader in the near corner. Trying to play it back to Hampton. Read well and cleared all the way down by Garrett Peterson, the graduate student out of Manhattan, Illinois. He the one transferred to the Sun Devils from Notre Dame. Engineers restart from behind their own goal. Another 55 seconds to go in the power play. Bourbonnais tried to make it to the line. Lost the puck a little bit on the stick handle. Now he carries in. Bourbonnais to the circle, turning. Spins it back. Still Bourbonnais to the point. Orval down low. Babella. Far side point all the way through for Moore. To the circle now. Gets it back from Prabavessis. Some room down low. Walking right in. Bourbonnais jam try no. Orval from a tight angle save made by Pashevitz, and all the way now to the far side. Bourbonnais from below the goal line. Centering pass Babella. Tried to touch it back to the point. Looked like he took his eye off of where Moore was as the pass went out to center. The Engineers have to restart once more. 18 seconds to go in the man advantage. They dump it in. Played there by Pashevitz. Kept in along the wall. Clearing effort all the way down by Schmidt as the Engineers will pick it up in the corner. About to expire the power play. RPI now 0-for-3 on the man advantage. 2:47 left in the first period. Moore shoots it in. It'll ring around to the far corner. Nanny there. He gets run into by Gushu. Kept in for a second at the far point. Loose there. Hopping around in the slot to the near circle. Clifford tries to clear, finding Stevens. Stevens connects to center ice. Gilling. Far side from Masters. Wrist shot high and wide of the goal. It caroms around to the near side wall. Missing the hit was Wood. Puck loose to the near wall. Bouncing out to center. Poked on further by Nanny. He takes a hit. And it's loose to the near side. Poked at by Gushu. And now Miller. On for Wood behind the goal. Looking to center. Trying to fight for it. Was Nanny. But he's at the end of a shift. And back comes Arizona State. Here is Joe Lappin. 3 goals, 3 assists for the freshman from Geneva, Illinois, is Joe Lappin. As I mentioned earlier, the younger brother of Brown Sr., Nick Lappin, as Travis Fulton moves it into the offensive zone. First one to it is Rodriguez. Around to the far side corner. He looks to cycle for Gillespie. Too far for him. Carried on by Joey Rats. Rats down the middle. Connects there. A little handoff. Didn't take a look As just giving it away there was Ryan Ostertag, and the Engineers take over in their own zone. Near side, good connection, Gillespie into the offensive end. Minute and a half to go in the period. Throw it right through. Went through the low crease to the far corner. Fulton picks it up there. Nifty stick handle move to the near side. Back to the near wall, indirect to Hampton. Hampton right down low for Rodriguez. Rodriguez is tied up and lost the puck. Chopped out to center by Belanger. Out ahead of the play, Ostertag in a race there with Reno. And Ostertag wins the puck back in the far corner of the RPI zone. Play it back to the point. One-time slap shot got blocked by traffic in front.
This is the final minute of play in the period.
To the wall now, far side. Belanger down low. Hampton throws a hit. Puck comes free to the far wall, and now Reno. Out to center ice, controlled there by Brock Krieger. He plays it near side for Schmidt. Out ahead of the play and into the offensive zone is Matt Kennedy. Kennedy off his stick by Hampton. He's tied up now below the RPI goal line, far side to the point. Near point, Schmidt, puck came out of the zone. And the forwards need to touch up, and they will. Glove down on the flip in. Hampton shoots it right back out to center. Krieger, he'll go D-to-D for Schmidt. Crossing center, flips it along. Neat little pass there, although it's poked right back the other way. And it's Bourbonnais who wants to skate. Here's a 2-on-1 for RPI with Nanny, and losing the handle. Drop pass for Schrader, and it's held by Pashevitz, and that was an unintentional drop pass. I don't even think Bourbonnais knew that Schrader was coming, but he dropped it almost right into his lap, and Schrader had a clean look there.
There's no way that Schrader was expecting that, and I don't think that Bourbonnais knew that he was coming. But good on Ryland Pashevitz for not giving up. When he saw that puck squirt off of Bourbonnais' stick, it would have been easy enough for him to just kind of relax just that little bit, but Schrader followed up, and Pashevitz was still right on top of where he needed to be, made a great save.
Face off here to the left of Pashevitz. Tied up on the dot, still loose there, cleared to the near corner, and now moved out to center ice. Here comes Arizona State. Peterson, offensive zone, drop to the circle, shot right on, and a save by Kasdorf right before the horn. That was Anthony Croston. Hadn't seen much of that fourth line, but Croston got that shot right before the horn. It would have counted, but he threw it right into the chest or stomach of Jason Kasdorf, who held on. Solid period for him. He stopped all 8 shots he faced.
Yep, go ahead and credit that. That's seven shots and 7 saves for the RPI senior, who now has 50 saves in these last 4 periods plus overtime against Harvard last Saturday. So still some additional inspired play by the RPI netminder. For RPI, my biggest concern for them coming into this game was that they might play a little flat. The last probably decade plus, they've pretty much had a reputation for playing to the level of their opponent. That's why you see them come out and pick up unexpected victories against Boston College, because they're playing up to the level of their opponent. But then they bring in a team that they should be able to handle fairly easily, and they either make it closer than it needed to be, or sometimes they even outright lose games like this. They still have a little bit to go there when it comes to playing the way they need to play against ASU. I thought the first period was a little bit uninspired mostly. They did control the puck for most of the period, but I think that was more of a condition of just their talent kind of rising to the occasion there. They really need to kind of bear down here in the next 40 minutes and kind of prove to themselves where they're at against a team like Arizona State. You know, not to really dump on Arizona State at all. It's impressive where they are for what they've done. I mean, just over a year ago, this was a club team that no one had on their Division I radar, and now they're playing a Division I schedule. They're doing well for it. They're just, not one of the higher end teams. In fact, according to the Cratch ratings, one of the computer ratings, they're actually the 5th worst team in the country. That's not terrible. But for where RPI is as one of the top 20 teams in that ranking, they need to be able to take a game like tonight, a game like tomorrow, and really kind of put their stamp on it. They have some more work to do in that.
Yeah, and hearing all that, that's the best thing about athletics and sports, in my opinion, is that you can do all the numbers and ratings and everything, but at the end of the day, these guys are out there skating and playing hard, and willpower and stuff like that is just a tough thing to measure. And I think if this team was able to hang with Clarkson and play with them for the entire game, when they've gotten in trouble, they've gotten down in games, and it's never really easy on a psyche to kind of hang in those kind of games. Those turn into 4-1, 5-1, 5-0 kind of games, where you're out of it by the second or third period and the team can kind of pile on a little bit. So this is a team that's, when they've been in games, they've really been in them. And I think that's something that kind of goes outside of whatever kind of numbers you can kind of draw up on them.
Yeah, Arizona State has a high will to play in this game. There's no question about that. The talent level is different, but they certainly have a high will, and that's going to cause problems for RPI if they don't have the same will.
We're going to take a break here. Had a chance to talk with Greg Powers, the head coach of Arizona State. He was the head coach of their club hockey team before taking over the varsity job as well. He had a lot of nice things to say about that, about his conversation he had with RPI head coach Seth Appert, which he mentioned in the pregame interview. I asked about that as well. So we'll have that interview now. Coming up after one period, once again, it is RPI 2, Arizona State nothing. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.
RPI Hockey would like to give a special thanks to Nicholas M. D'Onofrio, class of 1967. His support made the 2014 Houston Fieldhouse sound system upgrade possible. On behalf of RPI Athletics, our thanks. In other games involving ECAC hockey teams tonight, from New Haven at the end of one, it's Boston University 0, Yale 0. In Amherst, Massachusetts, late in the first period, Union 2, Massachusetts 1. The end of one period, Vermont 1, St. Lawrence 0. Late in the first, it's Penn State 2, Princeton 0. the RPI Pep Band. RPI Hockey would like to thank GE, Moe's, SEFQ, CDPHP, The Ruck, Boucher and Clark Financial Group, Janney Montgomery Scott, Price Chopper, AFSCO Fence, Yankee Trails, Red Front Pizza, Tri-City Rentals, Dunkin' Donuts, Toyota, Ben & Jerry's, Warren W. Fain, and Tri-City Valley Cats, proud sponsors of RPI Hockey. Ryan's Wake, proud to support RPI Athletics. After the game, head downtown and check out the Pub Kitchen at Ryan's Wake. Don't forget, purchase your 50-50 tickets at the table by the Engineers Pride area. Proceeds will benefit the RPI women's lacrosse team. They thank you for your support.
Thanks, Seth. As a former
WRPI is broadcasting. We provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. Special welcome to all of those watching on RPI TV and all of the ASU fans listening in Arizona.
Yeah, it's got to be nice to. Although our weather here is not bad. I think we hit almost 60 degrees here in Troy. I didn't even look. I meant to look what the temperature's down there, but I'm sure it's warmer than that.
I talked to my aunt who lives just south of Phoenix, and she said it was 60 degrees there today.
Okay, so we almost caught
him. Which meant she was wearing a sweater, which means that the Arizona State may well have brought their weather with them. So for Troy in December, 60 is
incredible.
It's an extreme heat wave.
This is a heat wave.
It's warm out. I'm wearing a golf shirt today.
We are ready for period number 2. Engineers skating from left to right. The Sun Devils from right to left. Pashevitz stops it behind his own goal. Played up the far wall by Kennedy. Bouncing puck towards center ice. Bubella took a whack at it. Kennedy carries it on further. He'll now chip it in. Behind the RPI goal, played by Tommy Grant around to the far side. Bradley out of his own zone near side. Off the stick of Bubella. Puck stayed in the offensive zone, so they'll stay on side. It's Rowe. Tied up by Bubella. Glove down in the zone. Nearly a hit thrown there by Wood. As it's carried on out to center by Tommy Grant. Grant to the offensive end, all the way down low. Still Grant on the move. Centering pass intercepted by Connor Schmidt. He'll play it up the glass, trying to keep it in on the bounce. Pravavassis, it's out to center. He'll snake his way back to his own zone, then gave it away there. Gilling into the offensive zone. Puts the brakes on along the wall, gets hit by Liljegren. Miller comes over as well. Worked out back to the far point. Shot coming through, traffic deflected to the near side. Chopped out to center by Rodriguez. Controlled by Masters, plays it back into the far corner of his own zone. Well off the mark from the intended target, Schmidt. Now Masters up the near side, comes right to Reno. Played it neatly down low for Miller. Couldn't control the pass. Rass off the back wall, but the Engineers intercept once more. Liljegren looks to cycle. Finding Miller. Mark Miller, the senior, on the move out of Massena, New York. Takes a whack there from the stick of Rats. Or excuse me, make that McGovern, and it's out to center. Pravavassis turning around in his own zone. Fed on further for Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez to the offensive end on the carry. Still Rodriguez down low. Shot from a tight angle, save made. May have also hit the side of the net. As it comes around to the far side, Liljegren trying to dig it out from a fallen Masters. As it comes out towards center, controlled there by Reno. Near side for Zach Schrader. Fifth-year senior fires on goal. The save made by Pashevitz, and he will hold on.
We've made a lot during the season about the blocking shots ability of the RPI skaters. They have as many block shots in the first period as Jason Kasdorf had saves. 2 block shots by Mac Pravavassis in that first 20 minutes. Also 1 each for Mark Miller, Kenny Gillespie, Zach Schrader, Phil Hampton, and Parker Reno.
Engineers 283 block shots on the season coming into today's game. That's the most in ECAC hockey. Phil Hampton has it near side of his own blue line up the wall. Broken up there. Ostertag ahead. Morris trying to make a move. He's tied up, and the puck is out to center. Bourbonnais trying to jump on it, trying to get it away from Clifford, who steers it to the near corner, and now he'll shoot it around far side. Nanny cuts it off there. Centering pass, Schrader. Shot right on. Save made. Rebound put wide by Bourbonnais. Now behind the cage again. Pops to the circle. It'll be picked up and carried out by Belanger. Shot near side. A little bit of room now. 2-on-1 down low. Ostertag a shot wide left of the goal. Bouncing in the circle. Turning and shooting. It was blocked again. Picked up by Moore. He'll just shoot it behind his own goal to safety. And now he'll carry, drop it off, and shot up the near wall towards center ice. Kennedy, D-to-D in the neutral zone for Clifford. Now Morris takes a shot. That one's blocked by Hampton. And it's Gillespie carrying out to center. Kenny Gillespie lost it between the legs of Bourbonnais, and then shot right back in by the Sun Devils. Around to the near side corner. Gillespie is going to pick it up on the move out to center. Kenny Gillespie takes a hit there from Peterson, but gets it deep. Fulton picks it up behind the Arizona State goal. To the far wall, kept in by Orval. Orval comes and takes it away out of the scrum, but it's carried on out to center by Peterson. Shot ahead off the stick of the intended target. That was Sean Murphy. And around to the far side wall, here's Hampton. Gets it up ice, but too far for Gillespie. Shot back the other way by Schmidt. Poked at it center ice. The Engineers shoot it right back in. It's Gillespie will go off on a change. Coming up on 4 minutes into the second period, 2-0 RPI leads Arizona State here in the first of a 2-game series at the Houston Fieldhouse to close out the fall semester as Murphy gets drilled by Reno. Babella back the other way for RPI. Feeds it near side for Jake Wood. At the hash marks, he'll carry it down low. Stolen away neatly. Good defensive effort there by Krieger to steal it away, but the pass came loose to center. And now back to the near corner. The Engineers have it. Centering past Babella. Trying to get a handle on the puck. Can't do so. Played to the corner once more. Melanson to the middle. Babella off his skate. Can't get the shot away. And the Sun Devils moving out to center. Flipped along into the skates of Croston. And now back comes RPI. Melanson near circle. Holding. Waiting. Cross ice feed all the way through. Looking for Prapaveses that eventually gets to him. He spins around to the far side hash marks. Cycling for Wood off the wall. Now down low, Babella holding there. Takes a bump there from Stevens. Hands it off. Played back to the far point. Here is Wood now. Wood holding. Far circle Melanson. Good offensive zone pressure for the Engineers. Hampton back far side for Moore. To the far side corner now. Drew Melanson on the move. He had RPI's first goal as the Engineers scoring twice in the first period. 15 seconds apart. That's our only scoring so far. Now we have a hand pass called. And we are just over 5 into the second. Engineers up 2.
That's a lot better work ethic from RPI we saw from the first period. They got the 2 goals, but they're really kind of relying a little bit more on talent than they were on just hard work. And that offensive zone opportunity kind of a byproduct of working hard for the Engineers.
Draw here. Neutral zone. Engineers win it. Shot in by Chris Bradley, the senior blue liner and captain from Williamsville, New York. Now Rodriguez nearly steals it away in the circle. Gets some help from Miller. Rodriguez in the corner to the slot. A shot by Liljegren. That one's blocked in front. The defenseman got in the way of it. Or excuse me, the center. That was Gilling who got in the way. Big collision along the far wall. Gilling to it. He's watched there by Miller. Kick to the circle. Down low, Masters knocked away from him. Bradley up the near boards ahead for Rodriguez. Liljegren had it knocked off his stick by Lappin. And the Sun Devils control in their own zone. Masters far side takes a hit from Grant. Taken away by Rodriguez. He plays it back for Bradley. Now here is Schrader on further for Liljegren. He can't control as it's poked at along the near boards inside of ASU territory. Now Rodriguez down low. Shot from a tight angle. Caroms off the glass in the far corner. He was looking for that top left corner of the net and he missed it. Puck swatted out to center. Prapaveses shoots it right back in. It's controlled in the Arizona State zone, although the outlet pass is right onto the tape of Reno, who will play it into the zone. Far side, Schrader up ahead. Nanny, a shot save made by Pashevitz, and he will cover. He stuck that blocker up and made the stop on the short angle shot. Nanny may have had other options as Engineers were cutting to the net.
RPI is definitely getting their opportunities down in the attacking zone with some open ice areas. They're not really utilizing them that well so far in this game.
Face-off played behind the goal. Ostertag. Shot in by Schrader. Keep it alive just inside the line. Played around far side by Gushu. To the point. Prapaveses down low for Schrader. Bourbonnais now out of the near corner. Holding to the circle. Up top, Reno. A shot through traffic save. The rebound popped loose. But then it was Gushu who put it right back into the mitt of his goaltender. Pashevitz helping him out there.
I know I've said it quite frequently this season, but I really like Parker Reno back at the point. Didn't always used to be the case. The last couple of seasons when he's been out there, he hasn't really been an offensive asset for the Engineers, but he gets it back there. More often than not, he's willing to rip one.
7 assists already on the year for Parker Reno, who he and his teammates have cooled off just a bit. Here's a wraparound try, save made, rebound, they poke it home! Goal number 1 on the season, goal number 1 in the career for Jesper Orval, who flipped in a backhand. It's 3-0.
Well, that's a pretty one for the highlight reel. If you're Jesper Orval, you're going to remember that one for a while, and hopefully, if you're an RPI fan, it's Jesper Orval getting that monkey off his back. He's looked good here in the first half of his freshman year. He just hadn't been able to find a way to put one home, but he gets one there on the backhand, taking that rebound and just putting it to the top of the cage. And RPI takes a 3-0 lead with about 13 minutes left in the second period.
Engineers get it deep here. played down low as it's broken up by Rats. Melanson for Babella. Back at the cage, Babella centering, comes all the way through to the far circle as Arizona State will move it on out to center. Bottle up there, shot in, around to the near corner. Moved out by Wood. He'll take the far side route. Nice hit there by Clifford to separate him from the puck. Played back to the point, Prapavesis down low. First one to it, Gushu. 2 goals and 2 assists for Gushu. As this one's fired all the way down the ice, it will be icing as soon as the Engineers hit the dots. And that'll send the face-off back the other way. 12:19 to go in the second period. First collegiate goal being announced now for Jesper Orval, the freshman from Halmstad, Sweden.
RPI's third goal of the season. No, not close. Third goal of the game. 6:50 of the second period. Jesper Orval, his first collegiate goal. Lone assist going to Kenny Gillespie. Makes it 3-0 RPI.
Tie up along the far wall. Rodriguez trying to pull it out of there. Shot off the boards by Croston. Kept in Prapavesis. His shot was blocked by Croston. Now Rodriguez trying to play it back. One-timer save. Rebound popped behind the goal. To the far side corner and now to the wall. Croston tied up by Rodriguez. The Engineers are hounding the puck a little bit more than they were in the first period. And it's turned into some more offensive chances here. Gushu tied up by Liljegren. Played around to the far side. Prapavesis pinching in. Prapavesis in the corner, handing off for Rodriguez as Liljegren is slow to get up in the near side away from the puck. I didn't see what happened to him, but he is hobbling back to the bench. Puck stays in the offensive zone. Rodriguez drove the net front, and he was stopped by Pashevitz, who covers.
Liljegren able to get off the ice under his own power, but he looks like he's in a little bit of pain. He's kind of keeled over. It looks like he's going to try and take a seat on the bench, though. That's at least some good news. RPI sophomore out of Stockholm, Sweden. Not off to the best start in his second season in the cherry and white, but still a key part of the RPI offense.
Shot up the far wall, kept in by Bourbonnais. Bourbonnais spinning around in the corner. Holding it there, back to the point. Mears Moore through traffic wide of the goal. Schrader was looking for the tip, didn't get it. You are listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Peerless Garrison, Tom Reel from the Houston Fieldhouse. Here's Hampton walking in. A shot off the crossbar and out. Hampton looking for a goal there. He caught the crossbar very cleanly and clearly out of the net. Here's Bourbonnais again in the far corner. One-timer saved by Pashevitz. Rebound again, Nanny couldn't corral it. Now a shot by Moore is gloved by Pashevitz, and he holds on this time. Engineers are piling it up in the shots department, trying to add to its 3-0 lead.
And this is what we saw in the first period, but we're adding RPI kind of pushing a little bit more. They're jumping on pucks. They're really just going after it, and that's what was missing during the first period. They were just kind of outclassing them. Now they're outclassing them, and they're working just as hard as ASU, which has been the difference in the second period.
Sun Devils into the offensive zone. They shoot it deep. Bradley trying to get there. Shot around near side towards the point. Kept in McGovern. Deflected, looking for one anyway from Liam Morris. Comes free to the far corner. Morris jumping on it there. Fulton helps it to the far wall. Orval back on it for the Engineers in his own zone. Jesper Orval starts up ice. Stick handling, lost it, pops right to Grant. He'll control, fed far side. Into the zone comes Fulton. He takes a hit there from Rats. Now Grant down low to the near corner for Gillespie. Gillespie holding, turning to the corner. Plays it down low. Now getting roughed up there is Fulton. Out of it comes Gillespie. Gillespie at the far side circle, trying to play it down low. Didn't get anything on the pass, and it's cleared to center. Bouncing puck, Prapavesis. He's tied up there, lost the puck to Ostertag. Penalty coming up on the sophomore defenseman, and for the second time tonight, Mike Prapavesis is going to go off, this time for hooking.
Prapavesis isn't really happy with the call, but it's kind of a lazy response to getting beat to the puck. Play wasn't developing really quickly enough for that to be a penalty worth taking, so a bad minor call hooking against the RPI sophomore, Mike Prapavesis. And here's back to the penalty kill. They're 2 for 2 so far tonight on the kill.
Here we go, face off far side of the RPI zone. Work back towards the point, chopped to the middle of the ice, picked up by Wood. There's an Engineer breaking. It was Miller. He's going to get on this one in the offensive zone. Backhand shot from no angle, right along the goal line. Easy stop for Pashevitz. And back comes Arizona State the other way into the offensive zone. Shot from the tight angle. Kicked away by Kasdorf to the near side corner. Gloved at by Hampton. He's hit by Masters. Free to the side. It's Gilling now to the point. Gilling back near side for Masters at the wall. They'll give him that. He gives it back down low to the near point. McGovern. Shot. Easy stick save for Kasdorf to the near corner. Popped in the air. Gloved at by Lappin. He takes a hit from Wood. Pried loose by Gilling. To the far point now. Rats, McGovern, center blue line. Near side Lappin, one-timer, didn't catch cleanly. Masters gets it back to Lappin. Lappin from a tight angle. That one's blocked away. McGovern once more. Far side for Joey Rats. Now McGovern, center blue line, near side circle Lappin. Centering pass off of the leg of a teammate, I believe. Never got on goal. That was Gilling who fired inaccurately. Good tip at the side of the cage by Masters. Kasdorf makes the right pad save. Now back to the far point it goes. Rats, near point McGovern. McGovern holding, center blue line for Rats. Peels it back for McGovern. Near side circle Lappin. Down low, Masters fanned on the one-timer. Masters again at the wall. To the near side circle, a drive, blocked by Wood. Spinning puck towards the line, out to center. 29 seconds remain in the Pravoves's penalty. Now Masters at the blue line, carries in, all by himself, 1-on-4, to the circle. He's tied up by Bradley and knocked down by Chris Bradley. Hampton hands it off for Bradley to the near corner, stolen away by Morris. Liam Morris near side for Ostertag, now back to Morris down low. Fed to the circle, tight angle shot saved by Kasdorf. On the far side, looking to get that shot was Masters, who was out there for the entire power play. Now near circle, Ostertag, penalty about to expire. Engineers kill it off. Now a centering pass. Morris tied up there, lost the puck. Melanson wants to break. Puck over his head, and it's gloved down and carried back on into the offensive zone. Here's Schmidt on an adventure. Poked towards the net and cleared all the way down the ice. This should be icing on RPI, and we will have the whistle with 7:36 on the clock here in the second. It's 3-0 Engineers.
Very impressive showing on the power play there for Arizona State. Some good puck possession. They held it well. They passed well. They even took some pretty good shots. Would say they were just unlucky not to score, but Jason Kasdorf was where he needed to be when he needed to be there. And sometimes you just have to rely on your goaltender to be your best penalty killer, and that's what RPI got right there as they kill yet another penalty. They're 3 for 3 on the kill tonight. And the Engineers are going to call timeout after that icing, in part because their penalty killers were out there for so much of that kill that need a little bit of a breather. So RPI willing to spend his time out here up 3-0 with 7:36 left in the second period.
Yeah, not a bad time out there. We usually see it, well, either here or the third from Coach Appert. Tom, the Engineers having a little better second period here, just the one goal so far. But when they were playing even strength, they were hounding the puck and getting after it and not allowing really any breathing room for Arizona State.
And that was absolutely what was missing in the first period. I mean, you compare these, you put these two teams together on paper, like we were saying, and RPI really is the better team here. And they need to be able to win games like this. And you know, in the recent past, they've either been nail biters or they've been shockers, really. So kudos to RPI for doing what they need to do, but they've got to keep that up against Arizona State because Arizona State still looks very hungry out there.
Puck to the near corner, Stevens. Tied up by Babella, around to the far side. Shot coming by Schmidt, deflects towards goal. Kasdorf made the stop. It trickled to the side of the net, but Babella helps out his senior netminder and classmate clearing out of danger. Arizona State in their own end. Moving up the far wall to the far side corner, Reno. He's tied up there. Pravovessis neatly off the back of the net, and now Babella to center. Good connection. Drew Melanson with speed into the offensive end. Melanson all the way around behind the net. No, he'll throw it off the wall for Rodriguez. To the point, Pravovessis. Near point, Reno. To the slot now, Babella flips it back to the point. Pravovessis had to track it down off the wall, fakes a shot and shoots it in. Rodriguez is there, centering pass all the way through to the point. Pravovessis a wrist shot high and wide. Karams to the near side where Reno pinches in. Rodriguez down low. Cycling for Melanson. Melanson at the far side corner. Turning. Still Melanson. At the circle, hands it off there. Pravovessis dives into the zone, far side corner. Tied up. Lost the puck. Good defensive effort there from Gushu. And Arizona State clears it all the way down. Doesn't have the legs for icing. That is the question. Yes, it does. 6:24 to go in the second period. 3-0 RPI. Shots are 28-12 to the hosts, excuse me.
The lone goal in this period scored by Jesper Orval I made the comparison earlier this season, and I'm going to do it again. He reminded me an awful lot of Drew Melanson during his first year, who looked good out there early on, getting good shifts in, playing well, getting good opportunities, just not being able to get that first goal. But once Drew Melanson got that first goal, he started lighting it up during his freshman year.
Shot through traffic, bounces wide of the goal to the far corner. Nanny gets there first for Schrader. Still in the corner, takes a bump, stays on the puck. Schrader cycling. Moore down low. Goal line extended far side. Moore behind the net. Circling to the near side. Fed all the way back to Schrader. Wrist shot high. Hit bodies in front. Looked like it was headed over the top of the net. Anyway, it's picked up over there by Krieger. Krieger clears off the glass out to center. It'll be tracked down by the Engineers in their own zone. Nears Moore. Shot near side. Nanny taps it to the offensive end. Swatted right back out to center by Gushu. But it's fed right back into Sun Devil territory. Centering pass now. Schrader shot right on. Save made by Pashevitz. Trying to whack at it was for the rebound was Schrader. And that was, I believe, Bourbonnais looking for another. But a good stop made by Pashevitz in the end, who now has his mask off. He's been busy throughout this first season, really, for Arizona State, and no difference here tonight.
Yeah, I think he had to know coming into the season that he was going to be facing an awful lot of rubber, and he certainly has this evening as well. Right now, the shot total is 28-12 in favor of the Engineers, so that's still 25 saves for the freshman, so that's not too bad.
Arizona State out to center, race for the puck. They're going to get to it. Centering pass broken up. That was an attempt there from Ostertag. He's looked pretty good here for this group. Ostertag, a junior from Regina, Saskatchewan. Now a shot by Rath off the base of the cage, picked up by the Engineers. Fulton picking up speed. Couldn't clear the zone, however. It's broken up by the aforementioned Ostertag. Tie up along the far wall. All three RPI forwards along with Reno are over there. But now McGovern back to his own blue line. Flips it ahead. Carried back into the offensive zone by Orval as Gillespie touched up. Orval down low, looking for the wraparound to the circle. Fed far side, broken up, kept in the zone by Bradley. Bradley through traffic block. Gillespie taking a whack at the rebound. And it's going to be picked up and cleared on out to center by the Sun Devils. That's as far as they get as Fulton carries it right back in. Wrist shot coming. Blocker save. Glove down by Orval in the far circle. Carries back towards the point. He'll cycle it down low. Joey Ratz the first one to it, however, trying to clear it out far side. Bradley keeps it in, although his dump-in attempt was blocked by a skate, and it's back on out to center ice. Stick handling McGovern through center ice. He'll shoot it into RPI territory. Kasdorf picks up a spinning puck and leaves it at the side of the cage for Tommy Grant. Near side, Alex Rodriguez tied up. Puck stolen away and taken over by Arizona State. 4:12 to go in the second period. 3-0 RPI leads. Arizona State dumps it in. Lappin bumps shoulders with Bradley. Gilling knocked off the puck around to the near side. Chipped out towards center by Rodriguez. And it'll be controlled by the Sun Devils in their own zone. Here is Gilling. Far side of his own end, off the wall. Tipped into RPI territory where Bradley controls. Near side for Tommy Grant. Off the near side wall. Miller chips it in. Gilling goes into the corner with Liljegren. Liljegren shoves him there. Puck played around to the far side. Here's Peterson. Peterson up the boards. Babella keeps it in on the backhand. And it'll be picked up by Gilling. Fed to center for Masters. Good back check there by Liljegren. Breaks up that play. Hampton to center for Babella. Babella spinning around in the neutral zone. Nearly gave it away. Gets back on it. Plays it for Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez to the offensive zone near circle. Poked off his stick by Krieger. Krieger clears in the air to center. It'll be gloved down there by Hampton, and that'll be a carrying of the puck on Hampton. They'll blow that one dead as Croston was right in front of him. Hampton didn't want to put it down where Croston could take it away.
Well, for RPI, it's good to see Victor Liljegren back out there. He looked a little shaken up after he was taken down a few minutes ago. Maybe just had a stinger or a Charlie horse or something, but he doesn't look too much worse for wear as he's back out for the Engineers on that last shift.
Anthony Croston, a freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, to take this face-off for Arizona State up against senior Milos Babella from Banska Bystrica. It's about as far apart as these kids get, hometown-wise. Here's Moore, or make it Hampton rather, tying up in the near corner of his own zone. Digging there with Murphy and Croston, and it's Babella who comes away with it. Carried out to center by the Engineers. Melanson with speed into the offensive zone. Melanson driving the net to the backhand. It's poked away as both ASU defenders had to come over and help on that play. Now it's poked behind the goal. behind the net, carried by Clifford. Up the far wall, carried to center, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Maybe a 4-on-3, turning is Peterson, he plays it off the wall. Murphy in the corner, tried to play Clifford, he wasn't looking for it. Around to the near corner, it's jabbed at by Reno. He'll play it back behind for Schrader. Schrader ties up with Murphy, it comes free to Prapavesis, who turns around in his own zone, then runs into a teammate. Playing it near side for Schrader. Zach Schrader up ahead of the play for Wood. Way offside was Bourbonnais. He'll have to touch up and stays on side, or gets back on side rather. Shot by Wood, caroms around to the near side point. Reno there, feeding it right back down low. Wood looking to center. Schrader all alone, shot was blocked. Closing on him was Croston, or excuse me, make that Morris, who made the block. Looked like Schrader had some time, but he waited just a little bit too long, allowing Morris to jump in front of that shot. Now near side, Ostertag trying to clear. That's going to be offside on the Engineers.
It's a good move by the super senior Liam Morris, who's really a great story for this Arizona State team. He was one of the heroes of ASU's club championship win a couple years back. Graduated last year, came back to play one season of varsity hockey with the Sun Devils. Scored 100 goals in 100 games at the pro level, so certainly no slouch.
Not at all. He has 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points so far this season for the NCAA team. Carried in far side, Riley Bourbonnais. All the way around the net. Bourbonnais holding. Fed to the far point now. Some room for Bradley. A shot through traffic. Save made. Rebound still loose. It's kicked behind the cage by Pashevitz. To the far corner. Picked up by Travis Fulton. Trying to get away from Stevens. Centering pass came through. Poked at by Grant, but carried out to center by Arizona State. Fighting down low, Matt Kennedy.
This is the final minute of play.
Dug out of the corner by Hampton, or excuse me, it was Hampton, or Fulton rather. Shot in deep, Nanny's going to get there first. Threw it through his own legs, gave it away, and now back comes Arizona State. 3-0 Engineers lead, under a minute to go in the second period. Stevens gets it deep. Into the corner they go. Stevens trying to pull it out of there. Here's Moore now, as Arizona State backs off a bit when the Engineers take over. Hampton down the near side wall for Gillespie. Into offensive zone territory ahead for Orval. Try to move through it towards the net. Sticked away to the far side by Pashevitz. Trying to keep it at the far point and doing so. That was a nice play. Now a chance for the Engineers. 3-on-2 down low. Gillespie in front for Gillespie, and he missed it high, and the give back from Fulton. Nice little give and go there, but Gillespie got a little bit too much of that one and ripped it high over the goal. Back to their own zone, near side corner, Orval. Around to the far side as the horn sounds. There's a bit of a collision there as Orval and Lappin getting into it a little bit, and that's not what this game needs. As we will take a break in a little bit, but Tom, shots 31-12 here after 2. RPI opens up a little bit more of a lead, 3-0. I thought Engineers played pretty well the first half of the second period. They kind of fell back on what they were doing in that first period towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a challenge to keep your intensity up when you are kind of just controlling the play as a matter of course, which is what happened during the first period. You have to kind of go out there and say, I want to win puck battles, I want to make sure I'm making focused, clean, crisp passes. But when it's coming a little bit easier than you would expect it to, the compete level is kind of naturally going to drop off a little bit. So RPI's got to stay hungry out there. But you really can't complain too much about things right now. They're up 3-0. They have a pretty solid lead on shots. I think it's really, this third period is going to be incumbent on them to see exactly how hard they want to play and how much they want to be able to prove to themselves their capacities when it comes to a situation like this, because it's one thing to be able to dig deep when the chips are down. That can sometimes come a little bit easier, even if it isn't as easy to accomplish. It's another thing entirely to dig deep and continue to play hard when you feel like you might have it in the bag. And RPI this season has not necessarily had it in the bag when they're up 3-0. This game, the way it's been playing out, looks pretty solid lead, but 3-0 leads have evaporated and in recent times for RPI, and Arizona State doesn't seem to be showing any quit, and nor should they. They have played with a great amount of pride all season, and it's not surprising to see them playing with pride here.
Absolutely not. We will have Arizona State Sports Information Director, the team that Justin Emerson, who works with the hockey program, on for a quick little chat, and then we'll have Tom and I will talk about what's going on around all of college hockey as well. So we'll have that break in just a moment. Once again, your score after 2 periods of play is RPI 3, Arizona State nothing. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Coming up next, the SEFQ Money Machine Money Grab. Our contestant tonight is Michael Lashman. Let's give Michael a round of applause. He'll have 30 seconds to grab as much as he can while the money's flying around inside the SEFQ Money Machine. And SEFQ will match however much he wins and donate it to charity. There we go, 30 seconds. Seconds, halfway there, Michael. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Let's have a round of applause for Michael Lashman, tonight's contestant in the SEFQ Money Machine Money Grab. Whatever he's got, he'll keep. They'll count it up. SEFQ will match that amount and donate it to charity. And remember, for all your banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit SEFQ on Houston Street in Troy or on campus at the Rensselaer Union. other games involving ECAC teams tonight after 2 in New Haven, it's Yale 2, Boston University 1. After 2 periods in Amherst, it's Union 3, Massachusetts 1. The end of 2 in Burlington, Vermont 2, St. Lawrence, nothing. Late in the second period, University Park, Pennsylvania, Penn State 3, Princeton 0. And at the end of 1, in Durham, New Hampshire, it's UNH 4, Dartmouth 2. Hudson Mohawk Figure Skating Club has begun its 64th year of offering learn-to-skate classes right here at Houston Fieldhouse on Saturday mornings. Classes are for all ages. For more information, check out the program at hmfsc.org. And the winning ticket in tonight's iPad mini raffle drawing. Ticket, it's a white ticket, number 843-7800. 843-7800. You're the winner of the iPad mini raffle. Pick up your prize over by section 2. Hey, what are you doing next summer? RPI offers credit courses, customized programs, summer enrichment, sports camps for you to explore and begin to develop passions and interests. Visit the Summer at Rensselaer website at summer.rpi.edu. See what we have for you.
Stay safe on the ice this winter. If you are in the car accident, call us. 3 consultations for good advice. Home consultations.
These same 2 teams will be back in action tomorrow night, right here at Houston Fieldhouse. Don't forget your teddy bears for annual teddy bear toss to benefit the Capital Region's Toys for Tots. Tickets on sale at the box office. Grab your tickets tonight or log on to tickets.athletics.rpi.edu. Purchase your tickets online. Tomorrow night, puck drops at 7 o'clock. RPI versus Arizona State.
I put a lot of thoughts into the games I did, and I know you do too. Here this evening, a great can be easy. Believe me, my money card, dash card, or digital ticket from school shops will make those wonderful people left out here very happy. They're easy for you to get, and more importantly, they're easy for them to use. Give the digital flavors from school shops for the holidays.
RPI 3, Arizona State nothing. My name is Tom Briel, joined by Terry Lascaris. You're listening to your home Frontiers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Before we get started with the third period, we want to thank the Peninsula Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org, and you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as WRPI is broadcasting, we provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, WRPI.org. Once again, special welcome to those of you watching on RPI TV.
Absolutely, Tom, and I've been given what cannot be considered a good omen for Arizona State, as the goal light to our right, the west end of the Houston Fieldhouse, is out. Is broken. The light cannot go on behind Jason Kasdar.
Would have been a bigger problem in other years, but the goal lights for probably the last, 5 or 6 years now, more or less just a
formality, right? But
something to look at, I suppose. It's not an actual goal judge back there any longer, but still something to know.
Still something to know. Back to action here as we start period number 3. It's 3-0 Engineers, both teams skating with 5. As it's Chris Bradley out of his own zone, near side for Drew Melanson into the offensive zone. Babella comes right to the net, bouncing puck in the slot. Babella on the other side of the net. The shot is turned away there by Pashevitz. To the far corner now, Melanson hands it off for Wood. Overtaken by Stevens, who scoops it in the air out to center. Controlling at his own blue line is Chris Bradley, thrown right into the tape of Schmidt. He carries into the RPI zone, poked away from him, and controlled by Babella. Saucer pass cross ice for Grant, as taking a tumble back there is one of the Sun Devil skaters. Engineers have it at neutral ice, played along by Bradley from Melanson, taken over by Ostertag. Behind the goal now comes ASU. Here's Clifford near side. He's bumped into, lost the puck. Parker Reno, far side ahead for Rodriguez, who directs it into the far corner. Gushu, he's tied up, lost the puck. Clifford now, near side, intercepting Liljegren. He'll play it down low. Rodriguez fires it through the top of the crease. Looked like he was probably trying to bank it off of Pashevitz. Didn't work, and it's back down to Kasdorf at the other end of the ice. Minute and a half into period number 3. 3-0 RPI with a lead. Engineers got 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Here is Miller on the move. Near circle, takes a shot. He nearly wrong-footed the goaltender, Pashevitz. He was leaning the wrong way. The shot missed along the ice, wide right of the cage. Shot around to the near side wall, picked up Prapovesis. Centering pass, one-timer save on the drive by Liljegren. What a setup there. Pashevitz equal to the task as Masters carries out. And moved along in deep by Nicholas Gushu. And now we get a whistle here as Liljegren goes into it there with Masters. They're going to need to be separated. They might have both of them here for penalties.
Masters, the freshman out of Rochester, New York, was once a charge of Seth Appert's. He was part of the 2011 Ivan Linka tournament in the Czech Republic, which was Team USA, coached by Seth Appert. Stayed in juniors for a little bit longer than most people expected, but he stayed long enough for Arizona State to get a varsity program, and he was one of the first big pickups for the Sun Devils. He is the one who's taking the only penalty being called here on this play. You can see what the call was. I believe it's some kind of probably roughing. RPI going back on the power play. They are 0 for 3 so far tonight.
Draw coming far side of the Sun Devil zone. One back to Mears Moore, who shoots it in deep past Bourbonnais. Trying to clear it out near side. Overall pinching in. Little of a bandy swing and a clearance all the way down from Jack Rowe, I beg your pardon. Now Moore. Through center. Babella, far side for Orval. Orval up top for Moore. Moore risking one. Save made on the blocker. Karam's behind the goal to the far side. Babella around for Prapovesis. Fed back to the far point. Here's Mears Moore. Near point for Orval. Picked up his first collegiate goal earlier. Shot blocked on the try by Prapovesis. Now McGovern in the far corner ties up with Bourbonnais. Trying to work it out of the feet there was Rats. Now digging is Prapovesis. Stalemate right in front of the Zamboni door at the east end of the Houston Fieldhouse. So we're going to have a stoppage out of that tie-up and a whistle coming. Face-off in the Arizona State zone.
The Zamboni door is one of the worst spots for something to happen, whether you're fighting for the puck or whether you're trying to hit the man down there. We saw Lou Nanny really take a 5-minute penalty last week, mostly just because he tripped near the door, fell into it, ended up getting called for 5 minutes for checking from behind.
Wrist shot from the far point by Hampton was blocked. Puck out to center. Hampton jumps right back on it. Hampton near side for Liljegren. There's an Arizona State player playing without a stick. Went back and picked it up. That was Peterson. Liljegren around to the far corner. Still Liljegren on it. All the way to the point. Feeds Bradley. Slapper coming. Save made as toppling over the pad of Pashevitz was Schrader.
An opportunity for RPI to work on their power play, which hasn't scored in seems like forever, but
it's been a while.
They did in fact score a couple weeks ago against Western Michigan, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yep, 1 for 3 against the Broncos.
But the Engineers do need to work on their power play. It's a good opportunity.
Clearing effort. Second one all the way out of the zone. 35 seconds to go on the Engineers' man advantage. As they will start things out. Far side around the net. It's Melanson. Drops it off. Bradley, far side. Shot in by Schrader. Around behind the goal. Kept in over there by the skate of Schrader. To the corner from Melanson. Chop it back to the point. Hampton settles down a rolling puck. Fires one towards goal. Hit by blocked by a skate. I beg your pardon. That was Krieger. Now Hampton into the middle. Melanson stick handling. Far side. Liljegren out of the box. In a second is Masters. We're back to even. As Schrader has it below the goal line. Around to the near side corner. Melanson gives it back to Schrader. 5-on-5 hockey with 15:44 to go in the third period. Engineers lead Arizona State 3-0. Melanson stick handles all the way to the blue line. Plays Bradley near side. Fan on the shot. Jumping right back on it. Melanson moving in. Melanson waiting. Feeds it back to the circle. Shot by Bradley was blocked and carried out by Croston. He'll fired up the near wall, trying to find Masters. That's broken up. Back comes Melanson the other way. 1-on-3. Trying to toss it around the defender's skate. It's broken up and back out to center. Fans hollering for something. I'm not sure what it is. As the puck comes bouncing back to Schmidt. He'll control in his own zone. Schmidt gives it back, or gets it back rather, from Krieger. As the Sun Devils dump it in. Over skating, the Engineers head back the other way. 3-on-2. Nanny, far side carry. has Miller in the middle, all the way through for Wood, who picked it up on the other side of the goal line. He'll play it back to the point for Prapavesis. Now far point, Reno through traffic, gets a deflection, save made. Rebound, they score! Jake Wood stuck it home on a second effort. It was a terrific first save by Pashevitz, but he couldn't deny the rebound. Jake Wood picks up goal number 6.
Once again, it's Parker Reno taking a shot, making something happen. He doesn't have to score to create goals for the Engineers. He's either making the right pass in the defensive zone or, like right there, taking a shot, not from the point there, but from the top of the face-off circle, getting a bounce in front. I believe that, yes, Pashevitz made a kick save on the initial shot by Reno, but it's picked up by Wood in the end. He puts it home for RPI's 4th goal of the night. They are up 4-0 with just under 15 left to play in the 3rd period.
Jake Wood had the initial deflection on the shot. The rebound popped back to him, and he made no doubt about that. 4-0 RPI. Fulton into the near side corner. Around for Gillespie. That one's broken up. Side of the cage. Swatted to the near side circle. Controlled by Chris Bradley. Along the wall. Orval. Far side pass. Nearly got to Prapavesis. Now, or Fulton rather. Here's Gillespie in the far corner. Kenny Gillespie hands it off for Orval. Orval to the circle. Turning to try to get his shot away. It was broken up. Rats touches it to center. Shot in deep by Ostertag. To the near corner they go. Played around to the near side. Rats the drive, save made, rebound loose. Another try and a save is made on the shot by Liam Norris. A couple of shots in a row there from the Sun Devils after giving up goal number 4.
RPI's 3rd goal. Check that. 1st goal of the 3rd period. Comes at 5-12, an even strength goal by Jake Wood. That is his 6th goal of the season, 10th of his collegiate career. That's 1 assist at least to Parker Reno. And I'm waiting to see if there's another one. Mark Miller has been credited with the other assist.
Played in from Liljegren, into the far corner of the RPI zone. Tie up there. And now Liljegren skates through center. Jumps over the check of Schmidt. Dangerous play there as Liljegren's skate got pretty high up in the air. To the near point, Moore flings it to the far side. Puck deadens in the corner. Krieger kept in by the Engineers. A little bit of room in the circle. Liljegren pulls it back and takes a wrist shot that was blocked by the shin pad of Connor Schmidt. Liljegren in the corner, stolen away from him, cleared to the point. Moore can't keep it in. Race for the puck now. Moore goes into it with Kennedy behind the RPI goal, and it's Moore who comes away with it. Shot near side from Melanson, a potential 3-on-2, and Melanson tried the more dangerous pass, which was picked off by Gushu. Back comes Melanson, offensive zone, driving the net, centering pass, and he had it on the tape of Wood, but he couldn't get the shot away. Puck to the near side wall, Melanson off the boards, turning, and he fanned on the shot, but he gets it right back. Melanson, blind backhand pass down low for Wood in the far corner. Shot back to the point for Reno, right back down low for Babella. Babella lost it in his skates, taken away and skated on out by Clifford. Far side, glove down by Reno. Played it off the wall. Poked free by Garrett Peterson for Arizona State, and he plays it in deep. Kasdorf leaves it there, lets it run for Prapavesis. Near side, here's Drew Melanson. He'll scoop it into the air, comes down in the center ice logo, and played into Arizona State territory. Controlled there by Clifford. 12:15 to go, 3rd period. Engineers leading Arizona State 4-0. Trickling into the RPI zone, far side. Now it's Schrader. Up the near wall for Babella. Babella now has a man breaking the net. It's Nanny. He finds him tipped on goal. Save made by Pashevitz, and he'll cover up again. Man, Rylan Pashevitz, he has been solid in net tonight. You wouldn't know it by the 4-0 scoreline, but he's made a lot of point-blank saves and a lot of tough reaction stops here.
Yeah, you really can't ask much more from him. I mean, he's been pretty much everything Arizona State's needed to keep themselves in this game, but the team defense is a bit lacking, and they just can't get enough puck possession in this game to really make a difference offensively, unfortunately.
Shot from the near point was blocked by a skate as it's cleared out to center. Here's Lappin dumping in. He battles there with Bradley. Tie up in the corner. Grant trying to dig it out of there, and does, to the far side corner of the RPI zone. Spins back to relieve some of the pressure as Bradley shoots it near side for Nanny. He nearly gave it away, now he does. Here's Masters in the circle, looking to center, stick stop by Kasdorf, rides the dasher all the way to the far wall, where Schrader is now tied up with Lappin. Bradley, outlet pass, connecting to Bourbonnais, but the pass was behind him, comes trickling in on goal. It'll be gladly held onto there by Pashevitz.
A 50-50 night for the ECAC right now. In addition to this game, 5 others going on, including ECAC teams. Union has a 3-1 lead over UMass in Amherst, Massachusetts. Yale is up 3-1 on BU in New Haven. But the other 3 also, all ECAC teams trailing. Vermont up 3-0 on St. Lawrence. Penn State up 4-0 on Princeton. And New Hampshire in the battle for the Granite State up 4-2 on Dartmouth.
Hampton near side corner of his own zone. He'll ring it far side, chopped at by Gillespie. Stays in the zone, however. Shot coming, Ostertag takes a deflection to the far corner. Behind the net now. Stolen away, we're gonna get a whistle here, and a puck played with a high stick will leave the faceoff in the RPI zone.
10:56 remaining in the third period. The Engineers with a comfortable 4-0 lead. Right now, we're just waiting to see how the Engineers are able to play out the rest of this game. We've been talking about it for much of the way. They just need to show that will to work when the game's not necessarily on the line.
Schmidt with a shot, tips off the top of Kasdorf's glove and goes over the net. Back there is Morris, played back to the point. Schmidt through traffic, never got to Kasdorf, although it sat there in the circle for a second. Now the Engineers move out to center Gillespie. With Orval, they trade places. Puck played in, Gillespie gets there. Far side corner. Kenny Gillespie hands it off for Fulton. Now Orval, wrist shot blocked. Gives it back to Orval off the post. Rebound behind the goaltender and it's put wide. Gillespie now ties up below the goal line and it comes free. Orval, centering pass, one-timer saved by Pashevitz on the try by Reno, who was very close to the net. Now a backhand shot by Fulton, gets it back. The net is knocked off. It was sprawling Orval. I'm sure that's not what he was trying to do. Excuse me. Gillespie had a crack at it. And oh boy, he's going to want that one back. It sat there in the crease. And he just put it wide of the net.
It's almost as much of a gimme as you can get sometimes. Behind the netminder, your stick behind the netminder as well. Just managed to push it wide of the crease. It was almost easier to score there. But Kenny Gillespie's had a couple of decent opportunities in this game right at the end of the second period. Fans were all standing on their feet expecting to maybe get the opportunity to get some free tacos. And he put it over the bar. So Kenny Gillespie's done pretty much everything but score in this game. He does have a point tonight. He has the assist on the goal by Jesper Orval as ASU calls timeout. With 10:10 remaining in the third period, they trail by 4.
Greg Powers, we had a chance to talk to him. Thanks to him again for the pregame interview. We ran that in the first intermission. Seems like a real great guy and a great opportunity for him jumping up from the ACHA coaching level to the collegiate level. You look at some of the RPI players who have done that. They've been goaltenders, but Jeremy Kupal and now Sam Goodman, the opportunity to play Division I hockey is a great chance for a lot of these guys, including Powers now.
And for these guys and for Powers as well, when they first came to ASU, I'm sure this was the farthest thing from their mind, and now they're playing Division I, they're coaching Division I. Greg Powers' story is pretty awesome. It's right up there with Rand Pecknold from Quinnipiac, who took over really a bottom-level Division II team and brought them to a national championship game. Really some fun stories out there.
Puck behind the goal, controlled by Arizona State as they fire it to center ice. Here's Kennedy on the move into the offensive zone. Kennedy pulls it back, takes the wrist shot, and the save was made by Kasdorf. Trickier than you might have thought, as I don't think Kasdorf saw it right away, but he got his stick and blocker hand over there to disrupt things. Sun Devils near side of their own zone. Kennedy trying to move it out to center. It's broken up, and they'll have to backtrack into the near corner. Schmidt up the wall. Or make it Gushu rather. Clearing to center. Hampton right across the red line, fires it right back in. It'll rattle around to the near side point. Melanson, stop and go move. Hands it off for Babella down low. Watched there by Stevens. Babella goes down. Stevens can't find the puck. Babella continues to battle in for it. Whacked away, Babella. And Stevens continue to go at it. And it's Babella once again who comes away with it. Trying to feed it back to the point. It's broken up and cleared by Belanger. And now it's Moore back into the zone near side for Milos Babella. Feeding it on further for Moore towards the net. tipped around behind. Now Wood picked up RPI's fourth goal, tries the tight angle shot. Rebound spinning Wood, threw it right back into the netminder. Pashevitz, who makes the save and covers this time.
I think Gushu's really got to move his feet a little bit more down there. Wood managed to take a shot. It bounced right back to him, and he still had plenty of room. At some point, even if you're playing some kind of zone, you've got to be able to go over there and challenge the guy with the puck when he's doing whatever he wants that close to the net. Gushu really kind of forced his netminder to work a little bit harder than he had to there, and Pashevitz has already had to work pretty hard here tonight.
Draw coming, played around to the near side. Is Peterson too hot to handle for him? Melanson at the near side wall. Tried to play it down low, intercepted by Croston. Although it's looking to center, fed it off a leg. Caroms right back to the corner for Milos Babella. Babella tried to one-hand in the corner. Oh, and it's picked off by Peterson, and he'll skate it out to center ice. Now a 3-on-2, maybe a 4-on-3 for Arizona State, but they're offside. Oh, we have a stoppage in play. 8:29 to go in the third. It's 4-0 RPI.
ASU looks like the kind of team that can benefit from a good rush down ice and a good counterattack. That's been one of RPI's main plays this year. They really haven't had to employ it in this game. But from what we've seen from ASU in transition, they look like they can be dangerous and they can get numbers if they use their speed wisely.
Center ice draw, played to the RPI line. It's Prapavesis. Ahead for Bourbonnais. Into the offensive zone. Riley Bourbonnais feeding it towards the net. Tipped on goal, save made by Pashevitz. As getting dumped behind the cage was Nanny, who ended up losing a stick. And now it's swatted to the corner. Good break up there by Bourbonnais. Centering pass all the way through. Schrader, a shot! And he didn't catch it cleanly enough, or he may have had the goal. To the near corner it goes. Played there by Gilling. Nanny has it pinned up against the boards with Lappin. And they were near side of the Arizona State zone. Poked free, picked up Nanny, fed far side, get back down low. Krieger. Reno's shot was blocked away right out in front by Krieger. And now he runs into Bourbonnais in the corner, but it's Bourbonnais who comes away with it. Fed to the slot, but it was off the stick of Nanny, kept in the zone by Reno. Reno near side. Schrader, a drive off the post. Fled back towards the point, now a chance to break. Too far out in front in the intended target, looking for Norris, couldn't find him. Played around far side, here's Masters. Back down low to the corner. Norris gets bumped by Schrader. And now Gillespie is tied up with Masters. Right back further down low is Reno. And now Prapavesis carrying out of the corner. And up ahead, here's Jesper Orval. In the air, far side, looking for Gillespie. Gillespie stops in the corner, trying to spin away from McGovern. Rats knocked away from him. McGovern jumping on it in the near corner. Up the wall, cleared to center. Picked up there by Bradley. He'll ring it into the far corner. It'll roll around back to the near corner of the ASU zone. Joey Ratz back to pick it up for Arizona. Takes a hit up high from Gillespie, and he's going to take a penalty here. 6:42 to go in the third period. Kenny Gillespie is going to go off here. It's going to be a roughing contact to the head on sophomore Kenny Gillespie out of Morrisville, North Carolina.
So RPI's penalty kill back to work here with 6:42 left in regulation. RPI with a 4-0 lead, looking to help their netminder to what would be his second consecutive shutout. Roughing call against the Morrisville, North Carolina native puts RPI down for the next 2 minutes.
Arizona State on the power play 0 for 3, the Engineers 0 for 4. Draw coming here to the left of Jason Kasdorf. One back to Tommy Grant, trying to shoot it out far side, backing out to center McGovern. He'll feed it across for Joey Ratz, a goal and 10 assists on the season for Ratz. That's the top assist man. He's second on the team in scoring in total for the freshman. Cleared all the way down by the Engineers, Bradley. As Arizona State will knock it down there. That's Pashevitz. You see his numbers reflect how many shots he sees. 923 save percentage. And nearly, 278 goals against for him. So a lot of them coming in on goal. 39 saves so far today. Centering pass, one-timer, they score. It's Joey Ratz on the back door. Nothing Kasdorf could do about that one. A well-executed power play. And the Sun Devils are on the board.
It's a good play from what has been tonight a good power play unit. And Joey Ratz puts one home with basically a wide open net to shoot at. Even a strong netminder like Jason Kasdorf is not going to be able to get across the net that quickly, especially when you're one-timing it the way that Rats did. He just kind of put it onto his stick in the crease and just shoveled into the net. ASU gets themselves on the board on the power plays, 4-1.
4-1 the score. Jason Kasdorf was about 6 minutes, or was exactly 6 minutes away for his second consecutive shutout. He was the last one to do it back in 2013 against Harvard and Dartmouth. But now a chance to break again for Belanger. Walking right in, Kasdorf made the save, cleared away from the top of the crease. Not out of the woods yet as Clifford takes a shot. Kasdorf made the save again, and now it's back out to center. Here comes Melanson now with speed. Through the stick check, centering pass, loose and picked up by Ostertag. And he'll carry it back the other way. Looking for Belanger. Out to center, no, kept in. Ostertag, circle, shot high and wide. Caroms around to the near side point. Schmidt, he fakes the shot and plays it down low. Tie up in the corner. Morris, centering pass all the way through. Kept in along the boards by Gushu. Or make it Schmidt, rather. Now another centering pass popped in the air by Bradley. Engineers on their heels just a bit now. 4:52 to play. They lead 4-1. But a chink in the armor here. Chopped at, out to center. Arizona State in the middle of a change, but they do so successfully. Kennedy in the offensive zone. Lost it on the give and go, and now they tie up along the far wall neutral zone. Bradley up the wall, skips all the way to Krieger. He'll go D-to-D for Schmidt. Schmidt back to Krieger. Out of his own zone comes Brock Krieger. In on goal from center ice. Kasdorf steers it to the near side. Played behind the net softly by Kennedy. Play to the circle near side. It's going to be intercepted by Liljegren. Tried to stick handle out to center. Lost it. Played right back to him. He'll sweep it into the offensive zone. Left there by Pashovitz. Nearly gave it away to Rodriguez. Trying to walk it out in front. Rodriguez, a shot. Blocked by Stevens, who jumped to help his goaltender. Now down low. Bourbonnais out of the corner. Centering pass. Shot coming wide of the net by Schrader. He's tripped up. Fans want to call. Not going to get it here. Stevens behind the cage. On the move, near side for Lappin. Here comes Joe Lappin for Arizona State, trying to walk around Moore. Shot from a tight angle, easy save for Kasdorf. Play to the far side for Mears Moore. Moore holding, waiting. He'll drift to the near side of his own zone. Fire it down the middle, good connection to Schrader. Schrader leaves it off near side for Nanny. Trying to give it back to him. Poked at by Nanny, lost a handle. And now it's Masters back to center for the Sun Devils. Masters near side, poked away, swatted into the offensive zone by the goal scorer, Rats. Behind the goal for Reno. Far side connection. Nanny tried to clear on the deflection, couldn't keep it, or couldn't get it out of the zone, but now Bourbonnais will. Race for the puck down ice, Rats and Fulton. Rats up the boards for Gilling. Gilling far side. Into the offensive zone is Masters. Flips it wide of goal, stopped there by Kasdorf for Prapavesis. Near side of the RPI zone. Ahead for Orval. 2:50 to go in the third. It's 4-1 RPI. Puck rolls, slides into the far side of the Arizona State zone where it's controlled by Travis Fulton. Indirect pass behind the net, broken up by Clifford. He and Fulton go into it behind the cage. Back towards the net. Puck comes free. Wraparound try. Score! There's number 2 for Jesper Orval as he makes it 5-1.
Well, once you get that first one, the second one usually does come a little bit easier. When you're Jesper Orval, I don't know if it rains, it pours, but he does have 2 goals tonight here after waiting several games to finally get his first one. That puts RPI back on top by 4. It's 5-1 with 2:33 left in the third period.
Face off and flipped in deep. Jake Wood the first one to it for RPI on the far side of the Arizona State zone. Down low for Melanson. Centering pass out in front. Bobella, who was tied up and couldn't control. Back comes Liam Norris for Arizona State. Ostertag dumping in. First one to it's going to be Mears Moore. He's bumped by Ryan Ostertag. They pin off in the far corner. Moore came away with it for a second. It's poked free. Bobella lost his stick and pulled out of the pile. Can't see who that is. He went down. That was Belanger. Back to the point now. Kept in by Gushu. Hampton. steps through a check. He'll carry on further. Phil Hampton to center. He'll cross center, just dump it in. Behind the goal, Melanson using his speed to get there first in the near corner. Melanson. Run into. Drew Melanson off the wall. Looking for Rodriguez. Comes trickling in on Pashovitz, who covers to get a whistle. Minute 25 left in this one. The Engineers answer Arizona State's first goal of the game with one of their own to make it 5-1.
And ASU's first goal of the game was scored at 14 minutes even of the third period. Joey Ratz, his second goal of the season for the freshman defenseman from Las Vegas, Nevada. And the assists go to Joe Lappin and Jordan Masters, the latter with his 10th assist of the season. This ties him for the team lead with Joey Ratz.
In the offensive zone, Kennedy walking in, centering pass. Kasdorf kept it out. Still no whistle. Where's the puck? It's still not covered. Side of the cage. Kasdorf without his stick. Wraparound try. Kasdorf got the leg over. Shot never got there. Now a slapper Schmidt. Pad saved by Kasdorf. Still no stick for the senior netminder. Under a minute to go, third period. Some late game fireworks both ways. As Arizona State nearly picked up its second goal. Jason Kasdorf with a tremendous right pad stop to deny the Sun Devils on the doorstep. But now they come once more. Murphy spinning around, can't find the puck, neither can Schrader. Now he does, shoots it right to Krieger. And now Schmidt scooping along, glove down by Bradley. Near side, Schrader just flip it in on the backhand. Pashovitz, shot around to the near side boards. Schrader jumps on it there. Clearing effort out to center. Peterson runs into Bradley, who hits the stanchion at the side of the RPI bench. They continue to go at it as the puck is played into the RPI zone. Tommy Grant behind the cage. Spins back with some pressure from Murphy. 3 seconds to go in the game. Loose at the side of the cage. We'll have the horn. I was going to say we'll have the horn before the whistle, but you already knew that. 5-1 your final. Engineers outshoot Arizona State 45-24 in the game one of this two-game series. And Tom, really didn't know what to expect from this team that played Clarkson so very close. They swept Lake Superior State earlier this year. Arizona State, you don't know what to expect from these teams. RPI, we knew they had to come out and play a hard game, and they really did, creating some separation in that second period.
Yeah, the second period I think was the key for the Engineers to really come away with the victory in this one. Just a quick reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. I think really we saw what we needed to see from RPI, and it wasn't 60 minutes of hard-nosed play. You're never going to get that. Well, I don't want to say you're never going to get that, but you're rarely going to get that even in highly, highly competitive games. You're going to have shifts that aren't as good as the others. You're going to have long stretches of play where you're getting behind things and where you're struggling to keep up sometimes with the way you want to be playing. But RPI did enough tonight, especially in the second and third periods, to get the job done. They got 2 goals in the third. They got another one in the second, working hard. The first period, maybe not so much, but it's coming back into things after a tough ECAC weekend. They were still trying to get their feet back under them last weekend from the illnesses that they suffered while they were out in Indiana. So, all told, a solid victory for RPI. It was really never in doubt. Looking at the numbers, these games probably should not be in doubt, but the real thing that RPI needed to focus on in this game was to make sure that they made it a solid victory, and that's what they got here tonight.
Absolutely, and it'll be key to come out tomorrow. You know, you'd like to, of course, the Indians would like to have gotten the shutout here. Didn't get it. Credit Arizona State for battling hard to the bitter end of this one. Joey Ratz, who clearly likes to jump into the attack. The 11 points show that. He got the goal on the power play. Engineers' penalty kill was solid. We thought that was one of the strengths coming in. They did 3 for 4. Not terrible, but the power play continues to struggle. Something they'd like to work on here in game number 2.
Well, even the best penalty kills are going to give up goals every now and then. It's a numbers thing strictly. You can't be everywhere all at once, and that's exactly how Arizona State got their goal tonight. They got it on the power play, and they got it by having a guy that was in the right place at the right time without a defender on. And the best penalty kill in the world can't stop something like that. And it's just this is what it is. ASU showed throughout this game they had 4 power play opportunities, only scored the 1, but they looked very good regardless. So give them some credit. I mean, they did not back away from a fight, and they got a fight here tonight.